Good evening. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. This evening's topic is how to manage your mental and psychological issues. How to manage your mental and psychological issues. Now, I've been doing a video series talking about mental and psychological issues, and I've gone through many scenarios over the past month. And what you're finding with all of the mental and psychological issues, they connect. They're related in one way or another. And they all lead to other mental and health issues. Let me give you an example. When you have Alzheimer's, it can lead to dementia. From dementia, which both Alzheimer's and dementia are basically one and the same, it's brain disorder. You get a loss of memory. But when you put dementia and Alzheimer's together, they lead to other issues. These are health related. Cancer, also Alzheimer's and depression and dementia. They can also lead to stress, which that's a disorder. And guess what stress can lead to? Stress can lead to stroke. Stroke can lead to heart attacks, and then you can die. So what I want to go over is how do you manage if you have a mental or psychological disorder. Now, I use the example of dementia and Alzheimer's. There are a number of mental and health issues out there. Basically, the proper way to manage any type of issue. First, you have to see if you have an issue. It must be diagnosed. This is where you have to consult a physician or a doctor. And you have to admit that you have an issue. Because if you don't have a mental or psychological issue, or you're denying that you have a mental or psychological issue, you won't be able to manage it. And mental and psychological issues can stay with a person for a lifetime. But you can still live a normal life. First person, again, is a doctor or somebody who's a psychotherapist, a psychiatrist, a psychologist. They can diagnose the symptoms for you. They can give you antidepressants. Now, I am not big on medicines because I believe this population is over medicated. We've become so addicted to drugs that we depend on them for everything. I mean, for ADHD, and there's schizophrenia. There's a drug for all of the diseases. But what happens with some of these medications is that they can give a person side effects. So where can you go outside of medication? Now, if a doctor says you need medication for a specific symptom, take the medication. But what I believe you need is this. You need a well-balanced diet. Most of us in America don't eat properly at all. I mean, you can go to Walmart and you see what people are buying because we don't have an idea of how to read any of the food labels. We'll just pick up something because it's good. I know I've been guilty of that myself. But since I've been doing these videos and reading more on dieting, I've been a lot better when it comes to buying food because I understand nutrition more than I did previously. And when you understand what you're eating and the 5 basic food groups, and I'm talking about grains, dairy, fruits, vegetables, proteins, which that includes meats. and you keep your portions small and you do enough exercise, you can save yourself from a lot of stress, depression. You can also save yourself from a lot of diabetes, high blood pressure, and even cancers. Yes, they put a lot of chemicals in the food. Believe it or not, some of these chemicals can alter people's personalities. A lot of us just don't know that. And I've been reading on that. And if you look at the food that we're eating, it's horrible. Too many companies want to make money. They don't care about any of us. They just want us to buy their food. A way to manage anything, particularly health, make sure you know how to read the labels. Anything that ends in OSE, fructose, dextrose, that means sugar. So you can go get a label, and I'm giving you an example. If you go and buy a smoothie and it says no sugar, turn the bottle over, and I guarantee you there's sugar in that smoothie. They advertise it as if it isn't any sugar. That's the first order of business as well. Learn how to read the food label. Second order of business to managing any type of mental and psychological disorder, support groups. If you are addicted to drugs and alcohol, the best place to go is with other people who have also been on drugs and alcohol, because they're going to understand you a lot better than somebody who doesn't smoke. It's like on-the-job training. A support group, they're people who have been in the trenches. They're going to tell you about cigarette smoking and how it damaged them until they started managing their health properly, because they knew the risk of cigarette smoking, drug and alcohol, or substance abuse. Also, proper sleep, 6 to 8 hours of sleep. A number of us don't get enough sleep. And what's happening? We don't give our bodies a chance to rest. We're running every which way but loose. The society is moving at light or warp speed sometimes. Need a chance to relax. Get rid of the stress. This is where you can utilize yoga, meditation, a nice brisk walk. You want to alleviate your mind of all the day's stresses that you had. And then you want to make sure that sleep comes in handy. 6 to 8 hours of sleep. That's all you need. Now, going back to some of the bigger issues like Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, Stockholm syndrome, those are mental health issues that can lead into depression, eating disorders. You got to catch those as soon as they come out the gate, because if you don't, they can get worse. Now, for Alzheimer's, unfortunately, there is no cure for Alzheimer's. And like I did last night in the video, most Alzheimer's occurs in elderly people, people in their 60s. And also, you really want to help yourself, and a number of us don't do it. Look back in your family history. That will give you an answer to a lot of issues. Because you can do everything correctly and still come up with a disease or cancer. Why? Because a lot of these diseases, heart disease, high blood pressure, the genetic. And what families have gone through in the past, if you can find a record of what they passed of, that can help you solve a lot of problems. Go to Ancestry.com or talk to some of your living family members to see where you actually came from. Because knowing the genetics of your family, which is a family background, a family history on what they did, that can help educate you, give you that information. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get the psychological or mental or health disorder. But if you're aware that it's out there and family members pass from it, you'll know how to educate yourself and manage yourself. Because with everything in life, it's about how to manage it. And if you manage it properly, you can live a longer time. A lot of us must understand that we can get help for mental and psychological issues. But the help won't work unless we follow the program. I've heard a number of individuals that said the programs never worked. It's because you didn't help yourself. You didn't follow the guidelines. There's a reason why there are mental health professionals out there. They're to help get you through the stresses of coping with the disorders. And proper management will help you live a fulfilling life. Right now, there are numerous cases of mental and health issues. You look at the black community. You look at the Cuban community, the Hispanic. Every community has someone with issues. And of course, there must be some resources there. Going back to the black community, a lot of blacks don't have the resources. But then a lot of blacks don't mention that they have a disease. Sweep it under the rug because we're in denial. We have lots of problems in the black community. And first order of business is that we're going to have to fix ourselves mentally and psychologically before we can talk about building anything. Because right now, a lot of us are vegetables right now. We just don't know it. But once we lift that pride and ask for help, we'll be able to do what we need to do. It has nothing to do with being poor, educated, or rich. Managing health is an individual's responsibility if they want the programs to work. Once they work, we can live normal lives. Now, I'm not in any support groups, but I do these videos because I want to help people get through their hard times, their stresses. Because, believe it or not, poverty, although it's social, it's also mental. Being uneducated, it's a social issue, but it's mental because it has an adverse effect on where you're going to go in society. And individuals who lack education end up going down the wrong path. Now, I'm not going to say education today is the greatest thing since sliced bread either, because you have individuals who have gone through a curriculum, gotten college degrees, and they still come out with mental issues. Why? Because colleges and universities aren't really educating students, they're indoctrinating students. That's another problem. The way you manage anything is you get help from proper people. And if you feel uncomfortable, you seek someone else out. But the bottom line, the person who is going through the mental and health and psychological issues, it is your responsibility to get through the program if you want to live a normal life. And you can do it. But you must be motivated and committed. No one ever said work is easy. It takes patience. And today, a lot of us don't have the patience to go through any programs. This is why we sweep the mental health and psychological issues under the rug. Now, in this video, I just gave you a brief synopsis on some management techniques. But to summarize it up, good diet, good rest, good professionals, and support groups. You utilize those four, and you can start to manage your mental health and psychological issues properly. Because at the end of the day, work smart, not hard, because you only get one life. And it's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show for this evening, Thursday, May 11th, 2017. You can tune into the 411 Talk Zone radio show every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on this channel, I don't debate, I don't do controversial issues, nor do I do any emotional issues. Also, I don't participate in drama or unnecessary bickering. Why? Because it's counterproductive. This channel is for educational purposes only. My job is to teach my audience, and thanks to all of my 347 subscribers, and I want you all to do me a big favor. I'm not asking for Patreon or PayPal. I'm asking you to bring some more subscribers to this channel to help this channel grow, because it's very positive. And when I grow, I make sure you grow, because I'm giving you information that you're not going to hear in the mainstream media. And the purpose is to deliver the information from a real-world perspective, but positive, so you'll understand how the real world works. The real world can be very complicated if you can't deal with the challenges. So remember, knowledge is power. And if you have a business topic or a new YouTube channel that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, please email me at lej6521@gmail.com. And if you have a comment, please leave your comment in the comment section under the video. Make sure that your comments are pithy. No bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering if you wish to opine. Now that's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed evening. Good night.